You have no idea where I'm going to take this first question right now because
No.
look, you guys, 4-game losing streak. You go on over to Bart Torvik right now. They have Michigan State projected to win this game 78-68. It's going to be a spotlight game on Fox, noon Eastern, and also at Michigan State. It is reunion weekend. All the former players are going to be there. It is going to be a hype Breslin Center. So with all that said, Spencer, why am I scared of this game on Saturday? Are you going to diagnose me with a mental illness right now? Is there actually anything that you've seen from your team that should give me fear? Just shoot me straight, whether it's sending me to a psych ward or, yeah, giving me reason why Oregon can be a live dog in this game.
Um, that's
Yeah,
that's
gotcha.
Sophie's choice. I mean,
Okay.
I think I'm gonna call Sophia Falcone, see if she has a hookup at Arkham for you there,
Thank you.
because
Cool.
there is a crazy element to being scared at home of a team who
Yeah.
has lost 3 consecutive games on the road and 4 consecutive games overall. So yeah, they have not been the road team they were to start the season when, in the first couple months when everything was going great and they were running up towards a top 3 or 4 seed in the tournament.
Right.
They actually were only losing at home, oddly enough. There
Right.
was a random bank shot by UCLA with a half second to go that you kind of went, that sucks, but you're going to lose eventually. Then there was Illinois and Purdue just flat out playing you in a couple of different matchups. And again, concern level wasn't high. It was more like, you missed an opportunity here. You're not going to be probably a 1 or 2 seed if you don't stack up more of these wins. But over the last 4 games, it's been a really frustrating team to watch, Matt. And the biggest reason for me is I don't see the juice at the defensive end of the floor, which is
Okay.
mostly about effort. That's my biggest concern. I discussed it at length on my show yesterday because the offense played much better against Michigan. They still have, I mean, horrific shot selection. They will
Okay, good.
shoot
Good.
they will shoot any three that comes to them, even though they're outside the top 115 in the country shooting threes this year. They have some guys who can shoot, and it's not as if I never want to see them put up a 3-point shot. But the number of times, because you have to be able to hit threes, you can't just make it work for twos and be a high level offense. But the number of times that a 3-pointer is put up with more than 15 seconds on the shot clock is infuriating. The lack of
Sure.
inside presence against Michigan was mind-boggling. TJ Bamba is one of the strongest players in college basketball. He's a veteran. He is a phenomenal driver. He is determined to fix his 3-point woes. He has historically been a great 3-point shooter. He sucks at it this year. He is well under
Gotcha.
30%. But his reluctance to force the ball inside or at least use that as a driving kick drives me insane. And the number of times that guys will settle for a 3 early in the shot clock, even if you're a capable 3-point shooter, better ones are out there. Here's the difference in the Michigan game on Wednesday.
Okay.
A game that Oregon had every chance to win, but they got in their own way in a couple different areas. Way number one was they put up 27 threes. They only made 9 of them, but
Gotcha.
that didn't stop them from shooting. But the biggest thing, the difference between them and Michigan, Wolverines had 17 free throws made on 21 attempts. How many free throws do you think Oregon shot?
Oh, is it 21? I'm just gonna go
It's not.
blackjack
They
here.
they 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 had the double down number on blackjack, 11.
Oh, great.
So they had 11 free throw attempts to 21 for Michigan.
Yeah.
They were just getting dominated inside, and everything they were doing was perimeter based, and they just don't have an inside scoring presence. Nate Biddle had a great game scoring the basketball. He was 6 of 8 shooting, but he was 3 of 5 from beyond the arc. Nate Biddle put up 3 shots that were 2-point field goals, and one of those was a mid-range jumper. So Nate Biddle, your 7-foot center, who's got all the skill in the world, is just not scoring in the paint. They're not trying to get him the looks there. So the offense was better against Michigan. Legitimately, that's an encouraging sign. The problem, though, is they had back-to-back halves. They gave up 41 in the first and 39 in the second. Dana Altman coached teams used to only give up 72 in an off game and would regularly hold teams under 60. This team doesn't have that juice right now. Once they're down 10 with 6 minutes to go, then you see them lock in.
Okay.
But there is no overarching concern that causes them to, from minute 20 in the first half to minute 1, in terms of how much time is on the clock in the second half, play hard at the defensive end. They have too many lapses, too many miscommunications. The effort is not there. They leave guys open, get beat off the dribble, get out physicaled. They're not a good defensive team, and that is the most frustrating thing. So, tangent over, but that's why this team is frustrating.
Okay. I think that was the question. Yeah, that nailed it.
Yeah, I think I answered. That's the old Nick Saban presser.
I think so.
I don't even remember what you asked me. I just wanted to say that.
That's a good saving. Wow, that blew me away right there. Look, this game for Michigan State, it's easy. You right the ships here. Okay, you still are holding pace with the leaders in the Big Ten title race, right? Pretty cut and dry right there what this game means. For Oregon, though, what does a win mean here? Because I looked at a few top bracketologies here, and I was surprised, and maybe you guys are surprised too, or maybe not. I don't want to speak for you guys. But one of the top ones that we have on the show, too, 131 Sports, he's one of the top bracketologists out there. Before the Michigan game, had you guys squarely in as a 5 seed. I mean, so is the tournament lock starting to be a question in your opinion?
Yes.
Or I guess what? Okay.
Yes.
So
in my view, it is.
Yeah,
in my view, it is. Lenardi had Oregon as a 6 going into the Michigan game.
Okay.
I imagine if they lose to Michigan State, which I fully anticipate them doing, that probably knocks them down. I mean, at least to a 7, but maybe an 8. Road losses to quad 1 teams are not going to punish your resume, right, but losses are still going to knock you down a bit. So I'd say they'd be no higher than a projected 7 based on where Lenardi had them earlier in the week. But I'm concerned, Matt, because I don't know where the losing ends. I'm not predicting they're going to lose every game they have left. They have 2, 4, 6. They have 8 games left, including Michigan State. I think they're going to lose to the Spartans, and then they'll have 7 regular season chances to win. But this is a team that had lost 2 in a row for the first time all year, came home against Nebraska, and was flat. Early, trailed almost the entire game. They led 2-0 at about the 17-minute mark, and then they trailed the rest of the game. So I have no confidence until they give me a reason to have confidence in that they can get back to what they were. Because they're not dealing with mass injuries as they have in the past, where Biddle or Dante or everyone was just banged up and not playing and inconsistent, and then Dana tries to cobble it together to make a run at the end of the season. This isn't that. The continuity's been there, and they're just playing bad basketball, particularly on defense, as I mentioned. And they haven't been a great offensive team consistently. Again, they took a step forward against Michigan. That's encouraging, but the defensive outputs in the last several games, 80 to Michigan, 77 to Nebraska at home, 78 to UCLA, 77 to Minnesota, 71 to Washington even. The last time they held a team under 70 points, which has been a hallmark of Dana Altman teams, was Purdue. And that was a long time ago. So they've lost 4 straight. They feel out of sync in so many ways. The turnovers down the stretch against Michigan were terrible. I know Michigan State feels like they are teetering on dropping down, but I am in full-fledged concern mode that Oregon, in a 9-game stretch where they probably had to win 4 to assure that they'd be a top 5 or 6 seed, I am 100% in the camp of I could see them winning 1 or 2 and suddenly putting themselves onto the bubble. Their resume is so good because Texas A&M and Alabama are awesome. Yes. And you have wins against both of them. It's incredible. Absolutely incredible. And it's so important right now. But I don't know where the wins are coming from. That Nebraska game was the tipping point for me. UCLA, all right, bad day. Yeah. After, Minnesota, I said, all right, you have a bad loss, whatever. UCLA, okay, that's concerning that you got blown out. But that you got blown out, you came back home against a below-average team, and you were flat. Concern levels through the roof for me right now. This would be a stabilizing win for the Ducks, and they need it badly.
nodding my head violently for everyone listening on the podcast when talking about the Nebraska game, because I bet you guys first half cover the spread. FanDuel Sportsbook, America's #1 sportsbook.
What was the Oregon first half spread in that game?
Oh, I can't. Was it 4.5 or something like that?
Yeah,
Does that sound about right?
Yeah.
So whatever it was, it didn't come close to hitting. So
No.
that's why FanDuel keeps advertising with us, because I keep giving the money right back to them with decisions like that.
That's a fun circular little ordeal.
Like that. You know what? We just keep feeding each other. It's a two-way petting zoo over here. So it's great what we got going on here. What a change from football season, because look, we've had you on, of course. We did this crossover show before. My Spartans got fed into the wood chipper at Autzen, and we got some comments like, oh, this Spencer's guy is way too arrogant. Oh, he's cocky. It's like, well,
I got arrogant and cocky from your guys?
You would be too if you were the host of a team that is undefeated and is going to just waltz their way to a Big Ten championship, at least game. And then, of course, you guys eventually won the title. But so you guys, like, Spencer talks real about his teams. Like, it's not that hard. They just had a wagon.
I tell you, if you don't think I'm about to go after we record this and look at those comments just to see and just give me a smile, you're so wrong. I'm so going to do that.
I think somewhere in the email inbox too, so I'll have to give you the password. It wasn't like an overwhelming amount, but there were some that was like, oh, that guy needs to get knocked down a few pegs. Like, well, then tell him to root for a different football team. I don't know what to tell you. He does a podcast about the #1 team in the nation.
Yeah, that was a good day.
No,
Didn't that late field goal give Michigan State the cover, though?
Sure did. Good team.
Yeah.
Great teams cover. Yeah.
FanDuel, they know what they're doing.
Right.
Matt Sheehan knows what he's doing. Talk about the Spartans. I occasionally know what I'm doing. Talking about the Ducks. That'll do it for us today. Appreciate everyone listening. We will see you next time. And until then, hope you have a wonderful rest of your day.